Welcome, witches, wizards, and magical souls. I solemnly swear that your magic is limitless. All right, quick question for you. What do you think of Professor Trelawney? Dramatic? Over the top? Maybe a little bit ridiculous with her enormous glasses? Her fainting spells? Well, yeah, most people do. Even in the wizarding world, her own colleagues don't take her seriously, like Professor McGonagall, for example, who rolls her eyes. Hermione quits her class, and Dumbledore keeps her at Hogwarts, mm, almost out of pity. And yet, what if I told you that Trelawney is actually one of the most important characters in the entire saga? Not despite her being dismissed, but because of it. Because what happens to Trelawney is exactly what happens to most of us when we dare to see the world differently. Today, we're going to talk about beliefs, about perception, and about the reality that you are creating, whether you know it or not. Okay, let's look at Trelawney's predictions more closely, because when you actually examine them, they are quite accurate. In Harry's very first divination class in the third year, she predicts that Neville will break a cup. And he does, right there in that same lesson. Then she tells Lavender Brown that what she fears the most will happen on October the 16th. Then Lavender will receive news that her rabbit's death on exactly that date. Then in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, the sixth book, during a Christmas party at Hogwarts, Trelawney is caught telling fortunes with cards alone in a corridor. And in that moment, even without realizing it, she makes a prediction. She keeps drawing a lightning-struck tower, a card that symbolizes sudden destruction, catastrophe, something being struck down without warning. At that time, no one pays attention to that. Trelawney herself seems doubting, shaken, and she can't really explain what she saw. Then, at the end of the same book, Dumbledore is killed at the top of the astronomy tower, struck down without warning. She saw it, months before it happened, and nobody listened. And then there is the one prophecy that started it all. The one Trelawney made to Dumbledore in a secret interview at the Hog's Head before Harry was even born. A prophecy about a child who would have the power to defeat the Dark Lord. A prophecy so significant that Dumbledore kept it hidden for years. And Voldemort would do anything to hear it in full. That prophecy didn't just predict Harry's story. In a very real sense, it launched it. All this prophecy came true. All of them. And yet, nobody believed her. Well, this is exactly the story of Cassandra in Greek mythology. Cassandra was a woman gifted with the ability to see the future, but cursed so that no one would ever believe her prophecies. She could see what was coming, warn everyone around her, and still she was being dismissed as if mad. And for me, Trelawney is the Cassandra of Hogwarts. She sees, she speaks, and the world looks the other way. So why does this matter for you? Because here's the real question her story is raising. How many times have you dismissed something, maybe a feeling, an intuition, a vision of something that's possible, because people around you couldn't see it too? Here is one of the most powerful ideas in the entire Harry Potter saga, and it's hidden in plain sight. We see what we believe, not the other way around. Let me show you what I mean. Take Trelawney's prediction about the Grim, the black dog she sees in Harry's teacup, an omen of death and misfortune. If you believe in divination, you see a dark warning, a sign that danger is coming for Harry. But if you're Hermione, firmly rationalist, deeply skeptical, you're just gonna see clumsy reading of tea leaves by an eccentric teacher. But here's the twist. The Grim was real. It was serious. In his animagus form, as a large black dog, who had been watching over Harry. not a threat, but as a protector. It's the same image, but completely different realities, depending entirely on the lens you were looking through the reality. And this happens again throughout the saga. Luna Lovegood believes in Nargles, in Crumplehorn's Norcock, in creatures that most of the wizarding world consider imaginary. Hermione thinks it's nonsense, but for the Lovegoods, anything is possible until proven otherwise. For Hermione, seeing is believing. Two intelligent, capable witch looking at the same world and seeing completely different things. Because our beliefs are not just opinions we hold, they are like filters through which we experience the reality itself. I want to stay with Luna for a moment, because she is, to me, one of the most quietly radical characters in the entire series. Luna doesn't look at the world the way everyone else does. She sees things others miss, not because she's naive, but because she has no ego in the way. No need to be right, no fear of being thought strange. She is completely, unapologetically open. And that openness, that willingness to consider possibilities that others dismiss before even looking, well, that is exactly the mindset that allows magic to happen. In your life, and not just in the wizarding world. When you approach your reality with Luna's eyes, curious, non-judgmental, open to what might be possible, you start to notice things you were blind to before. Opportunities, synchronicities, paths that were always there, but that were invisible because you were watching them through the lens of, that's not possible for me. Luna doesn't try to see differently. She simply never closes her eyes in the first place. Now, let's take this one step further, because Harry Potter gives us another brilliant illustration of this idea. In the Deathly Hallows, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are at Shell Cottage negotiating with the goblin Griphook, and Bill explains something fascinating to the trio. Wizards and goblins have completely incompatible views on ownerships. For a wizard, you pay for an object, you own it. It passes down through your family for generations, it's yours. For a goblin, you pay to use an object. When you die, it returns to the maker. Keeping it beyond that is, in their view, a theft. Same object, same transactions, but two completely different realities. Neither of them is lying, neither is wrong within their own frameworks. And, well, this is the point. Truth is always relative, because each of us, through our belief system, our filters, our experience, we have access to only a part of it. This doesn't mean nothing is true. It means that we should hold our version of truth, maybe with a little more humility, a little more curiosity about what we might be missing. So what does all of this mean for you, practically? Here's what I see again and again. The beliefs we carry function like the lens of a camera. They determine what comes into focus and what stays blurry, invisible, out of frame. If you believe opportunities don't exist for you, you will walk past them every single time, without seeing them. Not because they are not there, but because your lens isn't calibrated to catch them. If you believe you are someone who figures things out, who grows, who creates, you will start to find evidence of that everywhere. In small wins, in unexpected doors opening, in your own resilience when things get harder. This is what we mean when we talk about manifestation. It's not about magic tricks or wishful thinking, but it's the very real, very powerful process of aligning your beliefs with the reality you want to inhabit, and then acting from that place. If you take Felix Felicis, the luck potion in the Half-Blood Prince, it works exactly the same way. It doesn't create luck from nothing, but it gives you the confidence to act as though things will work out. And that confidence changes how you move through the world. It changes the outcome you create. And the potion is a belief, just bottled belief. And here's the thing, you don't need the potion, because you have the choice right now to decide what lens you look through. Are you Hermione, brilliant, capable, but sometimes so committed to what you already know that you miss what's right in front of you? Or are you Luna, open, curious, unafraid to see things differently? The magic isn't in the wand and it never was. It's in the eyes you choose to see with. Trelawney was dismissed her entire life, and she was right. Luna was called crazy, and she could see what no one else could. The question isn't whether magic is real, the question is what are you choosing to see? Because what you believe shapes what you notice. What you notice shapes what you do, and what you do shapes the life you live. That is the invisible magic of the human psyche, and you have access to it right now, in that moment. If this resonates, subscribe because we are just getting started. Every week, I'll take you through a new lens, a new key, a new piece of the map. Please, I really want to know. Leave a comment below and tell me, are you more a Hermione or a Luna? And has that ever held you back or set you free? Until next time, and remember, the wand chooses the wizard, but you choose everything else. May your choices be your magic.